again, everybody. We are back in the studio. It's been 2 weeks, right?
Or it's been staggered. Like 21 days. Like I think I was day 3 of the shave. I was like clean, like whoa. And then it's been 3 weeks, like 3. I think I'm at 24, so that works out. Like it's been about three weeks, but 2 shows.
2 shows. Gotcha. Well, welcome everybody. This is Beard Advice Live. My name is Dan C.
No audio.
This is the mayor. Oh, no audio.
Hopefully you guys can hear us.
All right.
Guys, if you guys can hear us, let us know. Just maybe it was somebody with their volume in their particular thingamabob.
Let us know if you guys are good over there. Good to hear, Dan. Okay, all right. Maybe, we'll see. We'll wait till we get a thumbs up from... You got audio? All right. Well, thanks, Dan B, for messing us up there. Just kidding. Yeah, make sure you unmute yourself on those ones. But as I was saying, guys, my name's Dan. This is the mayor. This is Beard Advice Live. This is a show where people send in pictures of their beards. They tell us their problems. They tell us their goals, and we help them get there. We say, hey, maybe trim here. Maybe style this. Maybe this facial shape is going to suit a different style of beard. And we have a segment in the middle that is dedicated to your beard questions. Mayor, what else do we have other than just the meat and potatoes of the show?
Well, we have some traditions that we always do here on Beard Advice Live. Ever since, it's good to be back.
Yeah.
It feels like it's been a while. We partake in a beverage or two, typically of the Mountain Dew variety. We have some excitement today in that. And then we also do like a meat process. We can talk about what we're doing for meat first, maybe, and then we'll roll out. The interest, the good is the Mountain Dews that we're trying.
Yeah, and so we have a couple of things, and we'll get questions here and stuff. But first, Mayor, I'll show yours. The focus is on mine. So these, I believe, were from Nate. I didn't even plan that out. I just thought of it right now. But from the company known as Johnny Ray. They are from there. And we have the Jack Link's Original and Tender Bites. They both have wheat, so those are going to be the mayor's exclusive tonight. I can't have those, but I brought the mayor a backup in case he needs. And then we have the Original Recipe Dukes. Classic. We know you can't go wrong on that original recipe. So we'll be munching on those tonight. And then, as the mayor said, we do have some special Mountain Dews tonight. We have on the back order, it'll be soon, maybe not next week because I am gone again next week for the show, but soon we have some drinks, some beverages, some juices that are in like a pop can from Hawaii. So Mr. G in the chat, who is getting his classroom ready today.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So Mr. G in the chat hooked us up with some Hawaiian drinks, and those will be in a few weeks. So we will be getting to those, Ken, don't worry. But we have 2 different Mountain Dews that neither of us have had today, exclusive on the show, from Tyler right here, who sent these in a couple weeks ago. The first one, we'll go here first. We've tried the other 2 Baja Blast, but we have not tried the gold one yet, which is a pineapple version. And I'm a big fan of pineapple drinks. I don't know how you are with pineapple.
I'm a fan of how fast and clean your zoom is on your camera there. But I like pineapple. Very good, actually. It's high on my list.
Good. And then, I do too, yeah. And then the other one is Purple Thunder. Purple Thunder here. And this is one that we cannot get by us at all. And this is a blast of berry plum. Berry plum. So very excited for both of these. We will probably go with the can first. I feel like the purple holds itself a little bit better there. But yes, we'll go with the can first. And then we got a bunch of entries today, which I'm super excited about. Whether you're watching right now or in the future, we wanted to make sure we hit this right away. Mayor, we need people for next week and the following week and every week that we have this channel. How can if they like this today and they feel comfortable with it, and something else, I didn't even plan the Purple Mountain Dew with the purple banner there. That's crazy.
Tied in.
How can somebody get involved in the show in the future?
All right, it's as easy as sending an email with a couple pictures. Our email address to send in a submission is beardadvicelive@gmail.com. You're just going to give us a brief description of what's going on with your beard, where you're at, how long you've had it, if you think it's relevant, what your routine is. Send that in and attach a front-facing picture and a side picture along with anything like any highlights or any like specific spots you're asking about. Send that in to beardadvicelive@gmail.com. And typically at this point, we're still pretty good on getting in within a week or two, getting you on that show, as long as we think it's relevant to valuable to everybody.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Tyler, especially since you sent these in, would the mayor's beard be classified as a beard? I do have a video coming, his facial hair here. And to kind of like give you guys a little sneak preview, I would say yes. If there was a police report and there was a crime at a scene and the mayor was a suspect, we don't know he did it. Suspect.
Oh yeah.
And as the kids call him, suspect. He's sus. If he was a suspect, would you describe him with a beard? My answer would be yes. It would be the sharp-dressed, swagged out man with a beard.
All right, I'll take that. Who may have done the crime.
Right. I didn't see it happen, but I saw him.
Yeah.
All right.
I want to check with him.
First take on the gold, exactly like I thought it was gonna be, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's Mountain Dew with pineapple, essentially. It's sweet. It's good. It's a keeper.
It's gonna pair well with jerky. I know that for sure.
I think it's got legs. You ever hit one where you think this should be a year-round flavor? Like I should always be able to get that.
Yeah. What was the one that Corey sent us?
Mango. Was it mango?
The citrus burst
from the general
power
store place.
Yeah. What was the name of that, guys? Power Drive? I think I might be right there. The mayor's totes sus. He is so sus.
Totes my goats.
And then mayor, next thing I noticed is you do have this hard part. This is the shortest and the hardest that I've seen your hair yet.
Okay, so I got a haircut and I have this like, I do this once in a while in the summer. So it's like basically a 2 all the way up to where the part is. I kind of have a colic right here, and typically school year, things like that, I'll usually have hair here to kind of part down, but I just kind of went, I was just talking and I was getting a haircut and it looked fresh. It was fine. To be honest, I like this for the summer, but I would rather go back to having the others a little bit over here too.
Yeah, I like this view, like looking straight on.
But I think it's a little weird on the side.
It accentuates the comb over that part of the pomp. I love that. But yeah, that side's too short for me for long term, but I think it'll grow back really cool.
In a week or two, it's a great look.
It's perfect.
But it's a little bit short right now.
Yeah, I can see that. And thank you everybody for being in here. We have not said it yet. If you guys could, please hit a thumbs up on the stream. And if you feel like sharing it, I do believe that this is one of the most helpful streams on the internet. I think we really can help people's lives, their confidence, their appearance. So if you guys want to share it out, that would mean a lot to us. But at the very least, we got about 60 people who have not hit the thumbs up yet. Just your kind reminder to hit that up. If for any other reason out there, I'm here, I'm rocking it, I got full energy, and I had a day today, guys. To my dad's in retirement out there, if you know what I mean. I haven't posted about it or anything. I've mentioned it from time to time. Sam's posted about it, but today was the day. I had
I forgot.
Did you?
Just now, like seeing you. Since I knew, but walking in the house, I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I had the little, you know what I mean, the little snip. So I'm gonna click to this camera, so you got. I'm just kidding. I'm not showing you that, but I did get the old snipperooski today. So we are confirmed that we are having 3 children, and that's a wrap. But I'm doing good. I'm doing okay. The drive home was probably the most painful part. After that, I've been good. I've been doing between Motrin and Tylenol, been icing, and had some Qdoba. Me and the mayor both really love Qdoba. I got full chicken, full steak, and an extra scoop of Diablo. It was about $15, but it was really, it was about $15. So, so it was good. But again, hey, I told you guys, we don't miss. We're here. You can have a procedure, an actual procedure done, and we're still gonna rock the show out. Okay? So
we've done it with COVID. You know, we roll. It's been some tests this year.
Yeah. Samantha, bags of peas have been in rotation as well. The ability to form them without too many details, that's a nice plus. And you have not had this, right?
No.
Not to give, Sam was like, has Steve? I said, judging by his responses in the text, I don't think that he had it.
No.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Yep. So.
Probably.
Yeah. I will say, it was almost nothing. Truly, we had a full conversation about YouTube content creation the entire time. They have 2 sides, right? The first side, I just felt the little poke from the needle and a little bit of burning. That was it. The second side, poke from the needle, a little burning, and then I did feel stuff. I had to stop him and tell him. And he was like, sometimes they like communicate and it's like it warns the other side.
Oh boy.
So I did feel the other one a little bit, but dude, it was not bad. It was not bad at all. It was, there was no pain, a little bit of pressure, a little bit of pulling here or there. Would I go back for lunch tomorrow? No, of course not. But it's not what most people make it out to be. Did your insurance cover it? I don't know. Our insurance is weird. We don't get the bill until like months later. So like Jax just broke his arm. I got the bill. Do you remember when I told you what it was? Mm-hmm. It was like 600 and something.
Yeah.
So we get these bills and it's just it's really tough out there.
My dog just had a $945 visit to the doctor today.
Oh!
It was supposed to be a $300 visit, but like he has this like abscess like on his neck, and it was gonna like went too long, so they had to put him under. So they had to call me. Like we dropped him off at 9, and 9:15 the vet's calling me. It's like, I can't do this like fairly. It's gonna hurt him too much. It's gonna be like 3 times as much money.
Woo!
And
Can't say anything.
I know.
Yeah, can't say anything. Exactly, Max. Number 3, so when you go to get it done, they do have to ask you, are you sure you want to stop at 3 kids? And I said, if you've met my daughter, you would know the answer is yes. And what did they say about your beard? So they asked what I do for a living, and it was really cool. One of the first times I was able to just purely say content creator on YouTube. And they said, what's your YouTube about? And I said, beards. And they said, well, you've got some experience there. Mm-hmm. So it was cool. The guy was young.
Sense. That lines up.
Exactly. Yeah, they were like, check. So if anybody is putting it off out there, if anybody is like worried about the old snip, the old VAS, truly no problem. And I do like to diminish things. Like I don't like to make them worse. But I'm not just saying that to be tough or anything. You guys hear me talking. I'm good. Like I'm fine. So no drugs, nothing like that. You don't have to go under.
I assume they give you a shot to make you
both sides
not feel the stuff.
Both sides, yep. So you get a shot on both sides.
You just feel like somebody up in you,
yeah,
pulling and tugging and
you
cauterizing, smelling. Did you smell that?
I did not.
Okay.
I had a mask on. We had to wear a mask. A lot of people told me about the smell. Didn't smell anything, but I did feel the pulling and tugging. So. Yeah, it was good. Oh yeah, I was literally. So where did I saw Mr. G said Dan got? I literally was giving him recommendations because he's a younger guy, and he was like, I can't grow a beard. I'm like, well, actually, this is it. And I'm like telling him all this stuff while that's going on. So yeah, Samantha, please do. It was nothing, guys. Yep, it was absolutely nothing. All was good there. So if you appreciate me being here after going under the needle and the scalpel, hit a thumbs up. Let's get this party started. Whoop, whoop. Yeah. Yeah. I believe the technology is better than ever. It was super simple. So yeah, don't worry about it, guys. If you got anything going over there. All right. Beard Advice Live. And if you guys do want to send it, the information is scrolling down at the bottom. So feel free to click that and get that party started over there. I think I like that. Maybe.
Ooh,
oh yeah, that pops just
changing
right.
the wall.
That pops just right, you guys. Just right. Ked says, hit that like button or get snipped. Or snipped again for some of you out there. What's up, Nano? All right, that was not a real problem. Oh, nice. Mike said it wasn't bad for him 45 years ago. Not bad. Cool. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get this this first one started. We have some awesome ones today, guys.
The first one's
updates, everything. So yeah.
All right, this is true.
Oh, sorry.
So I've had my beard for a solid 5.5 years. Been through all the different stages and experimented with tons of looks. For the most part, I've always kept things natural and rugged, but I'm looking now for a more cleaner look. Something more tight and crisp that would allow me to keep the fullness and keep that natural shape. I don't want to look like it's forced, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. I feel like the bottom of my beard is a bit scarce, and we could cut a few inches, to be honest. It's got a full look now, but that trim adjustment, I feel things can appear even fuller and bring the crisp look I mentioned above. My beard isn't thick, more on the curly side. Being a musical artist, my beard is an important part of who I am, as it is, and is a key part of my image. It is something that means a lot to me. I'm stepping into a new chapter of my music career, and I want this trim to embody the same energy, giving my fans a new look. I value your opinion, and I'm coming and I'm open to any suggestions you guys may have.
Awesome. And Samantha, great question. Thank you for asking. We're on episode 94. Nothing planned right now. I try not to bring too much attention to I don't know, milestones, I guess you could say. We had a retirement party on here, but I don't, like 60,000 subs.
Like you're what, like 50 away, 20 away from 60K subscribers?
Yeah. Like we won't likely do anything for that or anything, but 100 episodes is consistency. So maybe Samantha, I appreciate you thinking about that and asking.
Maybe I'll get a little hat.
Right, top hat. So with this one, I would like to say this is going to be a big beard coming up. And I feel like the mayor is our big beard apprentice. Like he's building into. Which one'd you go with first? Oh, both?
Tenders.
Tenders? How are they?
Good.
Yeah.
Very good.
If you guys are looking for a national chain jerky, Jack Link's is kind of like Honest Amish. It's not going to let you down. It's going to be good. It may not be the absolute greatest thing in the world, but it's solid.
You're not going to get a bag of that you won't eat.
It will all be good. Yep. So I feel like the mayor is our big beard apprentice.
Okay.
And I have so much confidence in our apprentice that I want this one to kick to you because I feel like you're going to knock it out of the park here. All right. So he's got a big beard. New career life. Wants some advice. Wants to go shorter here. What do you got?
All right, True. I
love the style too. By the way,
I cheated and looked ahead of this. You basically laid it all out, and I see you as kind of coming to us for a little bit of affirmation for what you're thinking of. Yep. And I believe that we are going to line up right with you on what you're saying. As far as looking at the front view of your beard, you mentioned thinness. You mentioned we would call it transparency on our show, and yes, there is a natural line of demarcation that we're looking at, and you said 2 inches. I think you're right on with that, inch and a half, 2 inches possibly. You can see that from the front, and that is going to give you that, which I love how you framed it. You said, I would like it to be, I want it to
not be forced.
Right, to not look forced. And you know, the way I wear my beard, probably with that straight bottom, that's like more angular, more forced. You're looking for the curvature, and there really is right there. This is a beautiful squint test opportunity. As you look at it, you're right where Dan is showing you. That's where we would recommend the trim in that curved shape. Then, let's take a second and look at the strength of your beard with that removed. I think it's going to be huge. Looking at the sides, you mentioned the consistency of your beard from the side view. You do have that kind of the very pointed thing. There may be some styling techniques you could do to brush it down a little bit more, but it may just be the way it wears for you. Whether you said you're in a band, depending on the instrument you're doing, you may just have to look down quite a bit. But there is a possibility there once we take that transparency, where you're kind of going to see an opportunity to shape it a little bit differently.
And I think the front, when you trim it in that rounded motion, it's going to round it off here too.
And just kind of give it that thick.
I think that's going to give it enough naturalness with that rounded bit right here. That I think that's just, he's got that real dense, kind of curly, wavy, intertwined beard, and it's going to look awesome. He's here with us, True Mamba. That's an amazing avatar picture, by the way. Yeah. But yeah, I knew exactly what the mayor was going to say. We have not discussed this. We have not even mentioned you. He's exactly right. Your trim is right here, man. This is about as big of a slam dunk as it gets. It lines up with your wants, your goals, and it lines up with what nature is yelling at you. And keep in mind, you are doing this with a yellow shirt on. If you had like a dark brown shirt, we wouldn't see as much transparency, but we appreciate that you did that, so we can give that real, true advice right here. So super simple, man. Do that trim. You could do it yourself. Just look up like DNC bearded trim videos, and you'll find a way to do that. Or bring this to a barber. If you want me to send you a lined up picture, send me a message on Instagram. I'd be happy to draw the line on there for you. I do that for people every day. It's going to look amazing, dude. Amazing. And hello to everybody that just came in. True North, Beard Octane, Clover, anybody we didn't get a chance to say hello to, which is all of you. Thank you guys for being here. Keep adding into the discussion in the chat. But Mr. Mamba, if you have any questions for us, if you have any add-ons, please do. And I agree with Robert right here. Those angles are going to look amazing. It's going to look absolutely fresh. So yeah, it really is. And then we got a comment from him. Yeah, I'm trying to avoid the axe look. Always have to put it down so it doesn't angle out. But I think I'll trim. I agree.
Yeah.
100%, man. Once you round off, it won't show you here, but once you round off this bottom part on the front, it's gonna do it by itself, and it's gonna look thick. That's the biggest thing. That's gonna be a super purposeful beard. And as a musician, I don't think you want to look forced, as you said. But I do think you want to look purposeful, because what does that say? It says that you care about what your image looks like, care about your hygiene. And I truly believe in the phrase, the way you do anything is the way you do everything. And so if they see that you're approaching your beard with care, they see that you're approaching your hygiene with care, they probably believe you're approaching your music and your shows and anything that goes into your life like that, because I know the way I approach this show is the way I approach my family, is the way I approach other aspects of my life. So there's things that can be said without saying anything at all. And I really believe that. So man, it looks really, really, really nice there. Awesome.
Oh, yeah. Image is a lot.
Yeah.
Image is a lot.
Yep, it's a currency. Yep, it really is these days. So very cool, man. The only thing I would ask in exchange for you is to send in an update to the show so we can see that side by side before and after. Hey, Ryan.
It's going to make us look good.
It is going to make us look good. Yep, and you already knew. You knew this answer, but we're telling you you are correct. Just listen. Just listen to him there. All right, ready?
Ready. This is Mike. My hubby wants to know what you think of his beard and if you see any room for improvement. Yes, he has a mask line on his beard.
Okay, so she must watch. Yeah.
Yes.
Boom! Mike, that looks awesome, man. Absolutely love it. Love the color. Love the fullness of it.
This is an excellent beard. I don't, as I looked at it, I didn't see too much. One of the things that would be a push and it, would be a fuller mustache would give, it looks like maybe you've kind of kept it clean underneath your nose. That would be something to consider. That's not something you necessarily have to do. We tend to like a full mustache here. We encourage that quite a bit. Looking at your side, from that side picture, like it's kind of in shadow. Can't really tell if there's something you might ask the next time you go get a haircut, if they could just kind of not take any volume off, but make sure your edges are clean. But you're doing all the right things. You can just tell that's a healthy, great looking beard. And there isn't too many tweaks that I would recommend. How about you, Dan?
Yeah, I agree, Mike, and the missus. And you're welcome, Mamba, man. Yeah, hit me up on Instagram anytime. I would love if the missus was okay with it for you to push that mustache. And then my biggest thing that I would say right here is leave your cheek lines alone. I can tell that you have trimmed your cheek lines right here. I don't think that that's natural to go from like really big down to stubble. So leave that natural cheek line alone. I would love to see it connect all the way right here up to that top of your beard. So very, very simple. And we have the misses in the chat right now, but it's a great beard. That's a beard that demands attention, that demands a comment. Of course, you're gonna get the Santa comments out there. My advice would be to embrace it, lean into it. Santa brings happiness. Santa brings joy. Why not kind of tap into those powers a little bit?
Yeah,
awesome.
I agree.
Awesome. Hey, I love this show. I feel like the wise lines have been pent up in me, and I'm like, man, that was a good line. So I
know.
like this.
I feel I do. Remote shows are great, but it's better to be here.
It truly
when
is.
We can.
We'll always make it work. And I will be remote next week, guys, for Monday and Wednesday. It's the only week usually out of the year where I miss Monday, Wednesday away from the studio. But we're gonna have Fable on Monday. He knows that I'm not gonna be there, and then Wednesday we'll be remote. But we found that sweet spot with the phone that's worked really, really well.
Right. Simplicity.
Yeah. Will you be in the mayor studio?
This is next Wednesday?
Yeah.
Should be, yes.
Perfect. All right. And nail banger, that's one that I can't really get into here. When we talk about the chemistry of water-based products, it's way more than any individual ingredient, and that's literally true. You can't just look and say, ooh, castor oil, it's thick. Water-based ingredients all depend on how they interact with each other, the potency of them, but it all comes down to the pH level. It's dang near impossible to read a label for anybody and say whether it's stripping or not, unfortunately. Kyle, great question. Maybe you want to hit
that? Sure, Kyle. You're going to just email your pictures attached to an email with a couple descriptions to beardadvicelive@gmail.com. All no spaces, just beardadvicelive@gmail.com. Scrolling across the bottom.
Yep. What up, Duke? We got New Zealand in the house. Hey, real quick, as we get to the next one, guys, what country are you from, if you don't mind sharing? All right, if you're in the U.S., don't tell me your state today. Let's get in the chat. Let's get a wall going of the different countries that are out there. So USA, we got New Zealand. I know we got Canada up in there. So where is, hey, Gabby, where is everybody from as far as their country? Let's see if we can pick some out in the chat that are outside of the U.S. And obviously, it's a U.S. dominant. One thing that I have a big goal for this channel for the last quarter probably of 2022 is tapping more into the market in India.
Yeah.
I believe we have a lot of beards in India that we can help. Obviously, there's a language barrier there, but we have a different thing that we can tap into to help them out. So yep, as Nate said, he's been testing things and he's been working with an awesome chemist in lab. pH has been the determining factor. Yeah. And like I said, I wasn't saying that to like diminish a question or push it up. It's just the true answer. I actually work with the company that I work with that has the Rite Aid products. We do have a beard wash and face wash. So I developed that. That was a really cool learning process. All right, so I've seen Canada, I've seen Mexico, I've seen Portugal, I've seen New Zealand.
South Africa.
South Africa, that's so cool, you guys. So cool. There's a lot of English. There is, but it's broken English, or it's English that is mixed with Hindi. It's English that's, I actually have a lot of friends from India. I talk to a lot of beards from India. I know the biggest beard content creator from India. There's not a lot that speak just pure English that would be searching for these videos. If you do speak English in India, you likely have a very good job. You went to a very good school. So there's a lot. I mean, again, we're talking about a country that has like 1.2 billion people.
Wow.
The United States has about 0.3.
Yeah.
So it's a huge thing. And there is a global beard community. We got Serbia. Let's go. Water polo player here. I don't know if Toby's in the chat right now, but Toby, drop a comment if you are. But Toby's over in Germany. And I had a little cool experience today. And we'll get on to the next one in a second. He messaged me and he sent me a screenshot of a YouTuber that was reacting to my co-wash video, and you know how they react and they have like a green screen behind them? So it was my video up behind him, and he's speaking in German with captions, subtitles on my video, and he's talking about the beard. I had no idea what he was saying,
right?
But I peeked in there and Toby was like, you should say hi. So I say hello, and the dude like stops, and he goes, hi? And Toby's like laughing in there, and he goes, I'm speechless. And he starts going, it was really cool. Then he starts talking about stuff, and he's like, the people in the chat were like, what's going on? He was like, this is a really big deal. And then I left, and Toby messaged me. He goes, he's never done this. He had to take a break from the stream. He goes, I feel like he's going to change his pants right now. So it was hilarious. He may have pooped his pants, may not have. But Toby probably will watch this in the future. I'm guessing it's like in the middle of the morning there. But yeah, it's interesting. Duke, so one thing for me is I do get messages every single day from people, from companies that don't want to review. They don't want anything but other than me to try out their stuff. Unfortunately, I don't have enough beards on my face. I don't have enough days to be able to try all those things out. And I don't like to do a game of pick and choose, playing favorites like that. So unfortunately, to save you money and anybody else money by wasting on shipping, rather than being polite and saying yes and then not using it, I think that's actually rude. I don't have the ability to do that right now out of respect. Unless it's lined up for a review, I can't really do that, or a consultation. Duke, if you want to get information on a consultation, reach out to me. I believe you've emailed me before. So I'd be happy to do this. So Mayor is starting over. Hey, all right. Hey, we probably have some people. Justin hasn't been here for a little while. Shout out to Justin. And then Robert says, how many weeks? Mayor, start real quick from the beginning and then tell them what's going on.
All right, guys. So July 3rd, I shaved off the entire beard, growing it back. We're doing a weekly video sponsored by Aberlite, where I'm just kind of talking about the journey. See, I only ever first grew my beard 3 years ago, so I have a lot of a lot of things I remember from back then and the thought process that I can connect to now. So yes, we are growing back. I am at like day 24 of the 23, 24, growing it back, and it's going pretty good. But there are so many things that come up. The idea of the whole series is down the road, guys, let's say No Shave November or whatever, are looking for somebody who kind of visually looks like them and can see it on the thumbnail and connect that and kind of get through some of those hurdles, those hard spots for new beardsmen that, you know, how many of us with a big beard have guys come and say to us all the time, I just can't do it. And a lot of times I think it's they can't get past a certain phase. So we're trying to kind of cover that in a video, and I was willing to do that and start over. Not the easiest thing to do, not the most fun thing to do. I'm feeling better. The self-esteem is coming back now with a little bit of stuff going on here on the face, but it was an interesting process.
In a lot, I know you've gotten them and seen them, but a lot of people are like, whoa, that's week 3 or 4. That would be month 3 or 4 for me. So we are finding out that you do have a really ridiculous growth rate. So that is pretty cool.
I'm glad.
It goes through. And I see Lawton, I see Diablo had some great questions. Guys, I have starred those questions, and we have a question segment during the show. I will bring those back, and I promise we will get to those. So if you guys have questions, feel free to drop them. I'll try to star them so we can catch them at the right time, or just hold on to the question segment, and we will get that going. And there are a lot of people like Jason Brazel. They are growing their beards back with you, which is really cool. Barry, we're going to save your question as well. And Gabby says, didn't get a chance to applaud the process. I love it. Since I can suggest stubble. Yes, please, 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 Gabby.
That's cool.
Thank you.
That's perfect.
Yes, that's the idea. That's the idea.
All right, this is Chris, our Clover Tech, who's always, you know,
He's there right now.
There he is. Had a nice comment on the video today, too.
Yes, he did. I saw you respond. Yeah.
It's been a year since I decided to grow from my normal super short stubble beard. This first picture is a series of screen grabs from 1 year ago up until about 2 months ago. Can you notice a difference at about 6-month mark? I can. That's the difference was finding Dan C's beard channel, the Dan C Bearded channel. Since then, I've been able to dial in on several things, all on good advice from Dan, the mayor, and the community in general. Unfortunately, during the last part of the year, I had several major events to attend, and trims and stuff are in much needed order. So, growing out has taken a bit of a back seat. My routine consists of heated brush, blow dryer, comb, and round brush, oil, butter, shampoo, conditioner, and all when appropriate. The second picture is now versus 1 year ago. The only change has been my wife giving me biotin for the last month or so. I decided to let everything grow, see what happens, and style the best I can as I go along.
Okay. Boom. So what do you see there? What's your breakdown?
Well, what I really like about his journey is that he kind of said for many, many years, or for a long time, I had the short stubble beard, and I kind of kept that up. And then he decided to go for it, and it's just kind of like, wow, look what that decision to try accomplished.
Yeah, and it's
and then his 12 month is the next slide too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see here. So cool. But I do love this change here before the channel. Look at the cheek line. Look at like how the beard is styled differently.
True.
To right here. Boom.
That's really he's got.
Boom.
That's crazy.
So cool. So cool to see that difference in real action. I really appreciate it. I'm actually going to be on his podcast in the nearest future sometime, so I'm excited to talk. He has a channel, and we're going to be talking about beard care and hopefully getting people from a market that are not already in here into beard care. So I'm super excited to do that, and that's so cool, man. Chris, thank you so much for sharing here. Obviously, we got nothing for you, but it's really fun to watch.
I love the big old full mustache now.
Yep, and he said, all due to this fantastic community. That's what it's all about, man. And I appreciate that you recognize the community aspect of this. I'm not the smartest person in the world. I'm not the most knowledgeable person in the world. But I do love building and like nourishing and caring for a community. That's why I was a coach. That's why I was a teacher. That's why I take pride in being a father. And this is just one of those things that goes right with it. So awesome, man. Please keep showing us here. And yeah, don't shave here. I started to grow my beard. I have bald spots on the beard because of shaving. It bothers me. I want to shave. Dude, stick with this channel. Stick with some healthy habits, and we'll get those spots filled in, man. We got you.
Yeah, we'll hit that in the questions, right?
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about a spot, like.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, and good. Pauline has a good point here. With the beard, a real smile.
Right. I love that.
Genuine smile. Awesome.
All right, this is Ross. Ross says, a little background on me. I had a brain tumor when I was 3. My left and right pictures, I have bare spots from the cancer. My right side of my beard is thinner than the left. How do I thicken it up? Any tips, tricks, or advice would be appreciated, or anything.
Awesome. And Ross, I apologize. I hope that you're doing well first and foremost. I hope that you're in better health than ever. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for trusting us with this here. And we're taking a look at the beard. Great. Right, naturally, when you think of cancer, you think of cancer treatments and stuff. We've seen guys in all different stages, so you kind of brace yourself. You're like, okay, maybe this isn't going to be the thickest, strongest beard. Dude, that is a super great beard. Super strong here. So essentially, he is saying that on one side, my right side of my beard is thinner than the left. Is there anything you can do to thicken it up? So we got the two sides here. Maybe this side is the thinner one, I'm guessing, by a little bit.
But Ross, what we're demonstrating for you is the idea that people are only ever really going to look at you from one side or the other side. So, if you can get through, your kind of, you see it, of course you see it, you can turn your head and see it. But if you can get past that, 95% of 99 of 100 people are never going to say anything.
Right.
If you happen to see
or
me,
notice.
Right. But I would say your concern isn't something that jumps out at us in a big way at all. I mean, you can see the light through it on one side rather than the other. Maybe if that's the thinner side. That is, it's all styling. It's about, when you're washing, after you wash, the best thing I know for volume is blow drying, even at your length, to get the fullest possible. Other than that, Dan, do you have anything else?
No, and a lot of people are pointing out, Leo says, if he didn't say the sides were uneven, I wouldn't pay attention. I agree. One thing that I am great at is not pointing out things that are in a negative way about myself. And I know this is the purpose of this show, so we appreciate you doing that. But man, there's no worries at all here. If you really want some, advice on, hey, I know you guys are saying nice things, but I feel like one side's thinner than the other. If you look up after this stream, uneven beard growth, my video should be the first or second one that pops up. There are some things that can cause uneven beard growth, such as sleeping on the same side. When you do that, you restrict the blood vessels from delivering the nutrients to where they need to go. Another could be maybe you drive a lot and the UV rays are hitting the same side of your beard all the time. Maybe you groom and you're harsher on your dominant hand than you are on the opposite side. So there's a few common things that could lead to that, or it could just be natural. Some people have natural growth patterns. He says, I use a blow dryer, it doesn't seem to work really well. Yes, it does. Hey, and
it looks good.
Dude, let me be very, very frank, very, very honest. Anybody that knows me, I'm super blunt. Sometimes I even go in on people on these streams when I need to. The mayor, first thing he'll tell you about me is that I always say what I feel and always say what I think. Your beard looks great. It looks purposeful. I can tell you use heat. You're not using too much. You're not using too little. The style of your beard is fantastic. I guarantee there is more than the majority of this channel would kill to have that beard. So, man, your beard looks great. So when you say that it doesn't seem to work, it works very well. I would say that this isn't so much about the beard. You just got to kind of change your lens around.
Yeah, we would tell you, genuinely,
Yep.
if this is the place where you're going to get the honest feedback, and people are saying, as we are, not really seeing it.
Yeah.
So, go confidently with your beard.
And you ask about a heated brush. I do not see any areas on your beard right now where I would be like, you know what, you'd really benefit from a heated brush. So no, I don't think that's a purchase you need to spend money on. Not at least right now. Maybe if your sideburns and your mustache get bigger and bigger and bigger, then you could. The only time I would say that you want to use that is I can definitely tell you do trim your mustache, but I like it. I don't think it looks bad. It's nice and full. If you wanted to go bigger with your mustache, go for something more like my type of mustache here, then I would recommend a heated brush. But otherwise, save your money for right now, and you don't need to get one. Regardless of what people want to assume, we would never recommend something unless we genuinely thought it would help you. So nothing yet, and as Jason said there, confidence is so important. I would argue it's one of the most important traits of anybody's life. I've told the mayor this before. If there's any trait I could pass down to my kids, I think it's confidence, right? You got hard work, you got intelligence, you got all these things. But if you have confidence, especially in yourself, not genuine confidence, I'm not talking about ego, I'm not talking about those things, real confidence, I believe you can do anything. And it changes the way people talk to you, it changes your situations you're in. So, man, go with that confidence because it looks awesome. You've been through some battles. It seems like you're doing pretty damn well.
Yeah. You know, just to add on the confidence thing, it usually when you can get your head around, like it really speaks to a better place to be, regardless of where you are. But you really don't get to a level of confidence until you're good with yourself, too.
Yep. And I was just going to say, one can help the other. Sometimes you got to put, the horse first and then till you get there. So the way that you talk to yourself makes a big difference too. I'm really big on no negative self-talk.
And the people you hang out with.
Oh, the biggest.
Your circle.
Yep. I'm seeing more and more as I travel, you guys, I'm seeing more and more. The sum average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with is going to dictate what your life is like. And I see that. I see that. I spent a week in Nashville. I spent a week in Muskegon. We spent a week out west. I see how who you're around impacts who you are. So yeah, absolutely. That it is very, very, very true. Very true.
And the last thing, I really appreciate you sending this in because this discussion we had, we're talking to so many guys out there, not just you, that they nitpick, they kind of get on their beard, their appearance for certain things, and we just don't see it. So for you to send in, we're speaking to 20, 30, down the road, 100 people that'll watch this video. So I really appreciate you doing that, Ross.
And hey, man, cancer-free since you're 16, 39 now. Let's go, dude. That's awesome. Hey, with that information, with that piece there, let me throw something out to you, and I don't want to move on until I get a response. Have you considered bald and bearded? Have you considered going all the way down at the top or a buzz cut at the top and getting that bad boy down, or even going with maybe something like the mayor? And the reason why I say that is I want to see that separation of the beard and the head hair. And I feel like going bald and bearded would be pretty dang awesome. I think I see some like scars over here, and I would love to see you like rock that. Like, yeah, I survived this. I had cancer. I've been cancer-free since I was 16. Warrior, right? Battler. Wonder your thoughts on this, because I want to know if it's crossed your mind, if it's something you haven't really thought about it. Let me put that out there pretty strongly for you, Ross. I don't have any advice on your beard. I have advice on how you see your beard, but I would love to see you go bald and bearded. I would absolutely. Drew says I could definitely see bald and bearded. Let me throw that out to you strongly. Ross, my main mic drop, my main leave is I think you would look amazing bald and bearded.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep. Oh, super cool. Jake says, oh, and I remember this one actually. I went bald and bearded myself thanks to this group. Half there anyway. I love it. Super cool. And I thought about that too, Ken. I was like, there's definitely some kind of, I don't want to say hipster, but trendy type hairstyles that could work as well.
Sure.
But I think bald and bearded is easy. I think that one would do really, really, really well. I'll think about it. All right, get us back, Ross. Let us know some updates.
If you do, Ross, we'd love to see it, for sure.
Or even if you want other ideas for it, you can do it too. Todd makes a great point. If you go bald and bearded and you don't like it,
you can come back.
The very next day it starts growing back. And your hair is not that long, so it wouldn't be too crazy of an update. And yes, we would all love to see an update there. But I like that point of view from Todd. You're still young, right? 39, right? Give it a shot. See what you think. I think that would be pretty cool. All right, yep, my Mountain Dew's gone over here. Yours gone. I'll take that bad boy.
Dunzo for
Liked
Shunzo.
it?
Yeah, loved it.
Me too. It's one of my favorites. So once we get to the question round, we'll open up the next one too. All right, Jason, take care, man. Drive safely, please.
You know, he's coming. He's doing a.
Yeah, I said it earlier on the stream.
Okay, got you.
Yep. Oh, here we are. We are. So,
well.
If you guys have questions about your beard, specifically if you have any for the mayor, or even myself, drop those questions in the chat, and we are gonna try. I'm really excited about this one. We have Purple Thunder. Feel the thunder. And this is a plum. I've never had anything flavored in plum.
I've had a plum.
I have two when I was like a kid. I don't eat plums regularly.
Fruits for kids, huh?
Yeah. You eat plums now?
On a rare occasion, I'll break out a plum in a paper towel.
And please make sure you guys are live. If you're talking about or seeing a Bucky's hat right now, you are way behind. So you want to make sure you're live. All right, give it a drink. We'll see what you think here. And then we'll get some of these questions flying as we go through.
Watch me drink. Entirely different than Mountain Dew. But so good.
So good. I have absolutely no idea where plums come into play. I don't taste anything that is plum related, but
oh, that's good though. That's a good pop.
It's really good.
Or soda.
Oh, is it the purple playing tricks on me, or do you taste grape pop?
I think it is plum that I taste.
Interesting.
I get it.
Interesting.
But I can see, grape. It does have like that purpleness that I think it factors in there. Plum is not that far off of a grape flavor.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Do protein shakes help my beard health anyway? So Lawton, it depends what your life situation is and what you do with that protein shake. Overall health helps your beard. Most people do not get anywhere near the amount of protein they need in a day. If you start looking at your macros on what it takes to reach optimal like diet, the amount of protein you need is absurd. Me and Sam, that's our number one focus, is getting enough protein. And at times it takes doing a protein shake, doing food. And obviously the best way to get protein is through food, right? It's not through shakes, it's not through supplements. But yes, if you use it, if you don't have enough protein, if you work out with it, dude, great for your beard. Absolutely, absolutely great for your beard. Marin Dan, any advice for training your brain to not be bothered when the stash rests on the lip?
It just depends. I think I would say train the brain. Yeah, you just do get. That's a great way to say it. I think it just takes time as you get comfortable with that feeling on your lip. And there are some places like my lip towards the center of my lips. It doesn't even really phase it much anymore. But like sometimes the corner of my mouth, I get the vellus or the thick little guys that'll just jab into there, and I still will strike a few of those down the road. So yeah, you're right. Training the brain is exactly right as far as getting used to that feel. It just sometimes takes time and knowing what you want to deal with and what you don't.
Yeah, so Todd says it's 1 gram per body weight. If you're like really breaking down macros, there's a couple other factors in that, but think about that. I weigh 220 pounds. Do you realize how much protein that is?
That's a lot.
That's an absurd. This bag right here is of protein. This entire bag is, so we got 2 links, 6 serving sizes. So you got 6 times here, is about 35 grams. And I weigh 220 pounds.
And how often are you supposed to get a gram per pound?
So
not daily.
It's what he's saying is daily.
Ooh.
It is absurd. I don't know if it's that much, but it is absurd there. And Real McCoy, the answer is probably both to this question. I'm assuming the answer is
and that's
both.
Fine.
The mayor, oh, absolutely. The mayor has restarted. He's on week 3 of videos. Check out every single Wednesday.
4 videos out.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, week 3 of videos since the first one. So
check those bad boys out, and we got you. Okay. Biotin is helping. I drank too much coffee to do biotin. So, and I saw you guys discussing this in the chat. I love this. Your body can only process B7, aka biotin, or caffeine. Caffeine is going to win that battle every single time. So it doesn't matter how much coffee you drink. It matters when you drink it. So you want to give yourself an hour cushion on both sides of biotin. So I do not like to drink pop in the evening. So I will take it in the evening when I have not had a pop. So just give yourself an hour cushion on both sides, and you should be good to go.
I've been doing before bed.
Yeah.
Because I know that otherwise I do love my caffeine.
Yep. And the only thing to consider is some people have sleep problems with all B vitamins, B12, B7. I don't personally. Some people say it gives them energy.
Oh, wow.
I don't. But just kind of know that for yourself. But what a lot of people used to do is have it with their morning coffee. They're like, why am I not getting the gains? Because you weren't using it properly. But I try to do it at night too. It's never once kept me up. Does anybody have a good suggestion in the chat for a wash for a head shave? Help them out in there, guys. We do not shave our heads, so we cannot help on that one. I always shower at night and wash my beard because I sweat all day. Should I oil after every shower? Yes. So Drew, if you shower at night and you definitely want to use oil afterwards, just wait about 5 minutes and then apply your butter. So yes, absolutely after every shower, I recommend using beard oil. When you go in that shower, especially a warm shower, you're leaching away the oil, which is fine. That's totally okay. But I would like you to replace it with some good quality beard oil. I blow dry every night after my shower. Should I blow dry after oil and butter? After oil and before butter, or after oil and butter? So Ben, super simple one here. Oil, heat, then butter. Never ever use heat on your beard without oil as that protecting layer. Super important.
And butter is just gonna give you better properties if you wait till after you put the heat on. It's not gonna ruin anything.
Yep.
But the best bang for your butter is gonna be after.
Yeah, the butter one's personal preference, but we both recommend after heat. After heat there. How would you achieve a long beard when your beard is extremely curly?
A lot of time.
Patience. And Mike, I would recommend heat, man. An extremely curly beard is just a beard that doesn't have a consistent heat routine.
Yep.
That was a good line. I'll say it again. An extremely curly beard is just a beard that doesn't have a consistent heat routine. Now, why do I say it like that? Because some people would say, man, I used heat 2 days ago. My beard's curly. Every day.
Consistent, yeah.
Every day. That consistency is key. But you can tame it, and you can get to the level that you want to.
I'll tell you, it's been interesting. My time without the first week without a beard and having all of my routines to apply to it, I would I would take a bath and I would have all this time.
Yeah.
And it was like an emptiness.
Interesting.
In my routine.
Yeah.
Like, I love that care for myself too.
I always get comments about that time. How much time you take longer than my wife? I like that time. Why? The kids aren't bothering me. Sam's not bothering me. Not that they bother me, but it's just peace. It's just serenity. I added this new series on Instagram, Product of the Day. That's now built into my routine. Really cool. There's some perks to not teaching.
Yeah, the first thing I do every day is something for me.
Nice.
With the workout. Like, you know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
I really believe in that. You got to do stuff for yourself. It has to be part of your routine.
Yep. And I clicked off the comment, but somebody said Bojangles has an exclusive Mountain Dew. We don't have Bojangles by us. If they sell it in a bottle or a can, someone get it to us, please. Please, 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 okay? Daniel C., I deliver mail 5 to 6 days a week. I obviously get dirty and sweaty every day, so I wash my beard every day. Is there a risk from using conditioner every wash? Yeah, Daniel, I don't recommend using conditioner 5 to 6 times a week. The more you use it, the more chance you have for buildup. I would encourage you to find a daily wash that you can use with or without conditioner. So let's say you are doing 6 days a week with washing. I would recommend going every other wash followed by conditioner. Now, the one thing that I want you to do is go a little bit more gentle with your grooming on those days when you do not have conditioner, right? A big advantage of conditioner is your comb goes through your beard easier. So when you don't have that, just be a little bit more gentle, be a little bit more patient. Once that oil gets in there, it should go through really easily, but you just want to be a little more gentle with it. All right. Tyler, Dan and Mare, I'm a sanitation worker and I get sweaty and dirty and all kinds of nasty stuff in my beard every day. Is it okay to strip my beard twice a week? Yeah. Absolutely, man.
That's about the high end we would ever recommend. It's a lot, but you have a great reason to do that.
Yep, exactly. I would say 2 is about the top of the line there. But what's worse? Having that really, really gunked up stuff. So, yeah, I think you can. Just don't go any more than that. That would be about our limit where we have. Yeah, thank you, Nailbanger. It was actually an idea by Sam. When we went to Nashville, I have a whole list of really cool ideas I'm going to be rolling out. I just don't usually talk about it. It's a big pet peeve of mine when people are like, big ideas coming, look out. I would rather just do it and show you guys. And so that's one of them.
If you don't call your shot and you hit your shot, you're good. If you sometimes you don't though.
Yep.
And so you got to have that. I believe in that too. I think you learn that as a classroom teacher.
I think so. You can't promise things to 12-year-olds and not deliver. Is there any one particular supplement or vitamin you've actually noticed makes a noticeable difference? Yeah, biotin makes it grow faster. Collagen makes it softer and more manageable. Those would be the 2 biggest outside of like a men's multivitamin. But it truly is. It literally comes down to overall health. The healthier you are, the the healthier your beard will be. It's just biology. It's super simple. I use shampoo and conditioner every day. Is that okay? So hopefully, Christopher, you heard that one. If you're using a good daily beard wash, totally fine. If you get sweaty, dirty, try to switch up the conditioner use. Yep, that would be my advice. And talk about vitamins there too. Alley Cat, you want to hit on that real quick?
Yeah, so Alley Cat is what I've been using to grow back. And, you know, I did actually keep photographic evidence the first time I grew versus now.
Yeah.
And I almost did a side-by-side today, but I didn't want to open controversy or anything. But I would say from my standpoint, I'm growing noticeably faster this time from starting from scratch again.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds exactly right, Ken, there. And 100 grams. But again, I hope you guys realize how much 100 grams of protein is. Like, that's an absurd amount of protein to try and get down.
Big steak.
If I drink a Monster energy drink, how long should I wait? I would say an hour. An hour is that good amount of time where you go through. I use Everyman Jack. Should I get better quality? Drew, Everyman Jack is a good entry-level oil. Their butter is garbage. Please throw away the butter, in my opinion. But the oil, if you take this serious and you want to try something, are there better products out there? Yes, there are. From the ingredients to my experience to my opinion, absolutely. Hey, thank you, Mark. That's awesome, man. I'll get Doug a wing next time we hang out. He is the best.
We'll wing him.
Boom, man.
Where can I find the barbershop recommendations list with locations? Daniel, we would love to have you join our Facebook group called Commands Corner, the bearded community on Facebook. We just ask you to fill out a couple questions to join. And then there's a link at the top in the featured segments where you can click. You can click to submit, or you can click to see a map and kind of pinpoint your location and what people have said in that area.
There you go. I do have to get more consistent with heat. That's what I'm talking. I feel like I know what I'm talking about over here. Is there a such thing as a beard perm? A couple people have mentioned you and a perm. Is there something I'm missing?
I hope not.
Okay, it's been brought up several times.
Me and a perm.
Yeah, somebody asked earlier, did the mayor get a perm? I feel it's not anything relative to your look. I feel like there's a reference that we're
help
missing.
Us out, guys. Maybe we're missing something.
Yeah, maybe that
my
one.
hair?
I think when you posted maybe that silly picture where you were acting like Owen.
Oh yeah.
Maybe that was
Instagram.
it. Yeah, I feel like that.
That was just messed up hair.
Yeah,
That was called
right.
not drying it.
Right. You want to hit this one? Why do you got like Mountain Dew so much?
It's been a tradition. Basically, I started I had to grease the wheels. Dan, when we first started working on this and doing these, he was at the end of a coaching day, a teaching day, and then coming home to two kids under like 3.
Yeah.
So I think he needed caffeine. He likes Mountain Dew. We would get it, and we would go out and do Pokemon Go back in the day. So it's kind of it just became part of the family.
It's our dessert. It's our treat. We're not sitting here eating candy. We don't drink. So we're not over here pounding beers. It just became our thing. Because a lot of people be like, oh, you drink a Mountain Dew? Then they drink a 12-pack. You're like, do you realize how bad that is for you? So that's just our thing. Drew, if you look up recently, I actually have a video that literally goes into the science of what it means to be a stripping wash. Essentially, it's a wash that's going to get in and get everything off your face. All the oils, all the sodium, all the buildup, all the dirt. And that's a good thing, but if you overdo it, it will start to wear away at the layers of your hair. So you want to make sure you do it responsibly. So it's a good thing, but do it responsibly on that one. Okay. If I put castor oil and peppermint oil before my butter every night, should I consider using less? Should I consider to use a less thicker oil? Nope. The castor should fully absorb in, so no worries there whatsoever. And Doug's hooking it up over here, man. I appreciate it. My beard hairs are not only curly, but also irregular. Some have different diameters with the same hair. Sound familiar? Yep. Any way to fix that? Antonio, it's going to be about finding that heat routine that's going to get them the most consistent. And then once you've dialed in that heat routine every day and you know exactly how your beard's going to fall with that heat routine, then dial in the trim that's going to match the style you want. And this is why this is so important, you guys, that when people say, do I use products? Do I style my beard before a trim? Yes. If Antonio were to do a beard trim when it was not fully styled, when it was not fully using heat, who knows what the results are going to look like. But if you dial in that routine, you get that style down, and then you trim from there, you should be able to get a consistent style. That's one that I've always felt really, really strongly about. A lot of people push back, content creators, on that, but I don't see the logic on any other way there. So yeah. What's the best over-the-counter oil in stores? Got a couple of options. One that I highlighted today is Honest Amish, right? That's a great one. I really like Goodfellows out of Target. I like Beard Brand and Target. I also like, there's a couple other decent ones that are out there. But if I had to pick one, Fitness, if I had to answer you, it would be Honest Amish. The best one over the counter until my oil gets out in Rite Aid. But for now, I will say Honest Amish. Is perms still a thing? I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know if they still are. Hey, how do you wash a boar's bristle brush? You look up how to wash a boar's bristle brush, and my video is actually one of the first ones on YouTube that comes up. If you want to put Dan C afterwards, it will help you out. Doug might even link one for us, but it's actually a full process that goes through. Since growing up my beard, I've been using products. Notice the fingernails. Yeah, exactly. So Wallace, that's actually a true observation. Your hair and your nails are actually all the same thing. It's called keratin. And your body, whether you want to believe this or not, doesn't get to pick. There's a lot of pessimistic people out there. I guys know you don't believe that, but there's a lot of pessimistic people out there that'll say, I started biotin, and all I notice is my back hair and my fingernails growing faster. No, your body doesn't get to say, here, but not here. We're not going to give them that. So if your nails are growing, your beard's growing too. Just keep that in mind. Neither of my grandpas could grow a beard, but my dad can. Mine is patchy right now, so do I have hope? What do you think, man?
I think you have more than hope.
Agreed.
You got genetics. Yeah, it's just time. We hear this all the time, the patchiness. Well, what you need to do is, even if you're not growing in certain spots, on my cheeks, I have a couple spots that aren't as full, but I style over it, and I let the other beard hairs get. It's amazing how over time it fills in.
Yep, truly. And keep in mind, you may not hit your peak until your mid-40s or even later. The circular, I think Danny, are you talking about the round boar's brush? You want to hit that one? What a round boar's brush could be used for?
Typically, we a lot of those, there's especially with gray beards, that blow dry, that tuck under, that look. There's a look of kind of styling and bringing in your beard down here and kind of turning it under to give it a uniform.
It's just the method of grabbing hairs in a different way. When you're able to get on that round brush, you can grab them. So it can be like the mayor was saying, like tucking it under. Greg Brzezinski kind of made that famous. Or addressing like dents and dips in your beard. You can grab that hair in a way that a comb can't, that a normal boar's bristle brush can't. It definitely has its place. I haven't used one in quite a while, but I could. If I got rid of my heated brush, that could be another option for me.
The length I wear my beard, there's really no use for it.
Right. Other than getting out dips. You could use it for that with a blow dryer. If I use a stripping but then get dirty, can I use a gentle the next day? Yeah, absolutely, man. Stripping and then gentle the next day is totally fine. I wouldn't recommend it in the same day, but next day, absolutely. Is there a pH balance that beard companies try to maintain when it comes to a beard wash conditioner? Yep. Nail Banger, just go look up my stripping wash one. It's just within the last like 2 or 3 weeks. I say the exact pH levels of stripping washes and of daily washes. It's one of the things with the channel. I've had like companies say, why are you giving the playbook out for free? I believe if you give out that information for free, that stuff's gonna come back to you in other ways. Just like the other videos. We're over 1,000 videos and have never charged. So kind of cool to see that information as it goes through. Okay. I've tried from 3 different companies. Okay, all right. Dan, is it okay to exfoliate your beard gently when washing? Daniel, I extremely encourage you to do that every single time. I've preached about that in several videos, even in the last month or two. So yes, absolutely. I really recommend that. I feel like my beard has reached like 6 inches and won't grow anymore. What is your summarized advice on that? So an active market crash, if you want to look up on YouTube after this stream, my beard stopped growing, Dancy. I kind of go over it. There's 2 main explanations. One is your perspective has changed, right? It's called the law of proportionality. When you have a short beard like the mayor's, you see those changes drastically, right? People are raving about his beard growth, but pinch your hairs. How long do you think one of those is right now?
A little less than half, like
Yeah, a third of an inch.
third of an inch.
So his beard right now is a third of an inch, and all he does is get compliments all day, every day. YouTube videos, Instagram messages, Facebook posts. Everybody's complimenting him on his beard growth. Guess what? If my beard grows a third of an inch, nobody notices.
Right. Okay.
So
yeah.
the law of proportionality is really important. Once you hit 6 inches, you have a full long beard. You are going to see your gains far less than you realize. Now, you could say, Dan, I hear you, but it's been a year and a half, man. It's still there. Well, you do hit these plateaus in life, and it almost always is due to something internal. Stress is probably the biggest stunter of growth. If you have new stress in your life, if you have continued stress in your life, your beard's not going to grow. Another one would be dehydration. Another one would be diet. Another one would be a fall off of your testosterone. Most guys that are experiencing those plateau effects, if you go get your testosterone checked, it's probably low T. So there's a lot of factors to that, but the most common is people just do not actually realize it. All right, somebody tell a joke.
Brian, he said I'm mantastic. That's why I grow so fast.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yep. My wife completely remodeled our bathroom for me, and now I have a side mirror, game changer. The mirror has a 3-way mirror.
I do. To be totally honest, I don't use it a ton.
Yeah.
But what I did recently do is command hook up my blow dryer. So because I was kind of, trying, like I am making my bathroom like my space, but like just I was constantly I don't really have a lot of counter space in my bathroom downstairs. So yeah, just kind of like setting it up when I get back to using the heated brush regularly, maybe that'll have a hook of its own too.
Yeah. And Antonio, I've never used it twice a day on a regular basis. I use beard oil after every shower. So if I take a shower twice a day, which comes up, right? I take a morning shower every day. Well, let's say I get dirty. Let's say I get sweaty. I'll shower in the evening, and then I'll use it again. But otherwise, I just dampen my beard and then go into my butter routine.
Take a bath twice a day now because I work out in the morning.
Okay.
And then if I want to at night, usually I do.
Work out in the morning, so you take it after.
Like 7 a.m., 7:30.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Beard oil with biotin or just biotin supplement. Not beard oil. I don't know any beard oils that have biotin. We are talking about internally ingesting. We don't know any scientific evidence of topically applying or what they call transdermal of any evidence of biotin working by applying it to the skin. So we're talking about 10,000 mcgs of biotin a day. So that would be a different one. Hey, you're welcome, Crash. Absolutely. All right, guys, and we're gonna get a couple more here, and then we will wrap up the questions.
Like these questions,
they're so good.
We would love it.
So good. Do you recommend a heated brush with a big beard, close to your size? So what I do, Nevitz, is I only use a heated brush in particular areas. So for me, it is just strictly on my mustache and my sideburns. You see how my sideburns look pretty good right now? If I didn't do this, they look like a mess. And no, I'm not gonna show you guys. But Nevitz, if you wanna look up Dancy Bearded Blow Dryer and Heated Brush, I have a video where I show both of them. In the thumbnail, I show the heated brush and I show the blow dryer, and you can see exactly what I do in that. So pretty simple there. When you dampen your beard, do you make sure it gets all wet and then just pat dry? Exactly. Yep. Spot on.
Spray a little dollar store spray bottle is great.
Absolutely.
Great thing to have.
Controls it, keeps it accurate.
Way better than I can ever do with the sink.
Yep.
On my.
The sink's messy.
It literally dribbles down in my shirt.
Yep. Hey, absolutely. Hey, thank you guys for those questions. Those are awesome. How you liking the plum still?
Yes.
Yeah, it's good.
Really good. 2 great ones today. All right, this is Dan B. Sometimes you have got to put your fears and anxiety aside and do something long overdue. After the past few years, I've been doing my self-trims and adjustments. I felt more of a change, help was needed, plus to properly get my beard healthier. Further recommendation from Command's Corner Group Barber List. I gave the barber shop a try and was relieved and happy with the decision. Many months ago, Dan Command recommended a certain style to go with. I was too afraid to do it myself. I went to someone who knew what they were doing to get me over the hump. Don't ever be afraid to get help, and don't be afraid of change. Yeah, so Dan talks to me all the time. I love our conversations. And a while ago, months and months ago, he's like, what do you think? And I said, let me throw this at you, kind of like I just did for Ross with his bald and bearded. I know Ross is going to come back. He's going to be scared. It's going to take him a couple of weeks, but he's going to do it, and he's going to thank me. And Dan B was the same way. I said, hey, stay with me on this, dude. I said, I think this is the right move. And I had a pretty drastic trim for him, but he wouldn't do it. He was like, no, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. He did it.
He's been super happy with it ever since. I think it just fills in his, once again, you guys, this is that definition of addition by subtraction. His beard looks fuller. His beard looks thicker. It looks bigger when he removed a couple of inches of that goatee.
Yeah, love it.
Hey, thank you, Cracker. I appreciate that, man. Cracker Jacked.
Go ahead.
Did you eat Cracker Jacks as a kid?
Uh-huh.
I love Cracker Jacks.
Yeah.
They are owned by Frito-Lay or PepsiCo now.
Get the little tattoo in there.
Uh-huh.
You throw them away. You just throw them out.
Oh, yeah. Just throw them away. Maya, you want to look at the Beard Octane Starter Kit. That is, you cannot go wrong there. Beard Octane Starter Kit. DanC10 is the discount code, or Beard Octane.
Beard Octane.
They're the sponsor of our Facebook group.
Okay, gotcha.
So you can get a boosted code in our Facebook group.
Yeah, jump over to our Facebook Commands Corner. We can even do you a little bit better than that.
Mayor, quick question. Are you using one type of beard oil viscosity, or are you alternating?
I'm just going, I've been doing a lot of Top Hat from Beard Octane lately. I love, you ever,
And they are the sponsor, so
Right.
that makes sense.
But no, I rotate for sure. I definitely have been trying different ones. Just, as I'm growing out, like, let's see how thicker Artius goes, or, just things like that.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. I highly recommend everybody rotating.
This is Austin. Hey, I sent in 3 weeks ago, so here's my update. My beard is 1.25 inches long, and the pictures were taken after applying beard oil and brushing. 1, there are a lot of areas I would normally trim and have an urge to trim. What would you trim, if anything? 2, do you think the fact that my beard's coarseness on my cheeks is similar to the coarseness of my head hair, and not coarse and wiry like underneath my chin, will present challenges to me in the future, and to what degree? 2.5. If you had to guess, how long of a beard would you think I could grow before I will run into thinness and transparency issues, or am I already there? 3, here's my current routine. Is there anything you would change? Beard oil 3 times a day, beard butter at night, shampoo every 1 to 4, brushing and combing 2 to 3 times a day, and beard balm is needed.
Okay. So number 3, Austin, the only thing that stands out to me is beard oil 3 times a day is, in an ideal world, is probably a little bit too much for most people. I would love to see you limit that to 2 or after every shower or bath if you take a bath. Other than that, pretty normal, pretty fine there. All right, so let's take a look at the beard, and then we'll come back and hit all the questions. Awesome, Austin. Yeah, I do remember Austin sending it, man. Thank you.
Funny, because I can feel that coarseness underneath that he's talking about.
That's so cool.
Like, and it's kind of a misleading thing, so I'll hit that for a second.
Yeah. Okay, you hit number 1 here, trim. Is there any area that he has the urge to trim? Do you think there's anything you should trim right now?
Absolutely not. Like, I can see that you did your neckline.
Yep.
I would continue to keep that updated. That you kind of committed into that. But other than that, no. Taking anything off right now is going to be a mistake. We're going for length and growth for sure.
Yeah. And then the coarseness. So essentially, he's saying my hairs over here are straighter and different texture than the chin. Austin, that's going to be almost everybody. Most people's cheeks do not grow anywhere near as long or as thick as the one that's along their jawline. So will that cause you any problems? No, absolutely not. You have full coverage. You got thick over here. Is it different than your chin? Yes, but almost everybody is.
And I will say too, some of it may just be your own perspective. Like, you're feeling the bottoms of your hairs underneath here, whereas this kind of lays to your face, because I can feel exactly what you're talking about right in this moment. And yeah, you do not want to try and address that or tweak anything or adjust anything. That's just kind of the way it grows.
Yeah. Daniel, yep, that is what I said. In an ideal world, 3 is not ideal. There may be situations where it can happen, but 3 times a day, it's just unnecessary, right? I probably should tell everybody, use it 3 times a day, then we sell more product. But no, I would not recommend that. 2 times would be the top of the mountain if we could. And if you had to guess, how long of a beard do you think he could grow before he runs into any thinness? I don't see any issues with your neckline. I don't see any patches underneath there. I don't see any problems. So, dude, the sky's the limit. It's going to take, you're very young. That's the only thing right now that could hold you back. But with a little bit of patience and stuff, you should have no problem going as long and as thick as you want, at least to like my length.
And thinness is a relative too, because with transparency trims, we can push past that too.
Very true. Yeah, thinness is definitely relative. That's a great point there. No, dude, there's nothing that concerns me about your beard. I bet that this even fills in as you go as well. I can already see some of those hairs popping in. If you are trimming or shaving this, please stop. Some people feel like I have a little scraggly hairs coming in there, a little few things, and I want to make it look purposeful by getting rid of them. Just let them come in. They're gonna fill in, man. I see the base. I see
You gotta
them
write
popping
it out
through.
at some point, and you're gonna be glad you did.
Absolutely, especially younger, better. Keep going, dude.
All right, this is Mike. I've been growing my beard for almost 2 years now with some maintenance trims here and there. My main issue is the right side of my jaw and ear. I have a bald spot where I only get vellus hair. Usually, I just line it up with my beardscape, but as soon as the hair starts growing around it, it starts to show. I also use heat around it to help camouflage it. If you have any tips or issue for this issue and overall feedback for my beard, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome, man. Thank you. Nailbanger, quick. Carbon fiber is heat proof. It is waterproof. The biggest advantage over wooden combs. Many wooden combs are going to warp with heat and water. Many wooden combs are going to develop mold. Many of them are going to rot and break. It is waterproof, heat proof. No static, and it glides through your beard real well. Wood shouldn't have static either, but I know it still can.
Light and rigid.
Yeah.
The lightest, but yet most rigid thing you can use.
Yep. All right, Mike, you take care, man. Yeah, the hype is totally worth it, and they're just amazing. All right, let's take a look at Mike. Mikey. Awesome, man. Love the style, love the beard, love everything got rocking. And he highlights a spot here, of course. But he says, my right side under my jaw, I have a bald spot, and he usually just lines it up. Okay. So right here, definitely, I see exactly what you're talking about. This side comes down in that little loop, and there is a little spot there. Mike, if you're in the chat, I would love to know, is there any trauma that happened there that you're aware of? Like, did you get hit with a baseball bat by your little brother when you were younger? Did you get to a fire? Because if there was, that's going to determine a lot. There's not going to be a whole lot you can do there. If there wasn't, then you have the ability for it to come in. If you have vellus hairs, that means the follicle's there. There's just something that's preventing it. And we could do things like check out the accelerator from Alley Cat. Make sure you're exfoliating. But also know that it's not like you're pointing that out. But to go back to the show earlier when the mayor referenced this, I have a video coming. You're the only one that can see both sides. If someone's looking at this side of your beard, no one's going to be like, what's that missing like gap out of there, right?
No trauma ever. Since I started growing it, it's always been there.
Okay. Yeah, man, truly no worry about that. But I would say to you, I don't know if this is the answer. I don't know if this is going to fix it. But check out my video about the accelerator from Alley Cat. I did develop and design that. And it will give you a chance, especially because you said you have those hairs coming in. So, but it looks good, man. You got style. You have style. I think you got like a little gray patch on your head hair. One of my favorite looks on head hair is when people have those gray patches on darker hair. I get real jealous of those. So, looks good. Anything else for Mike?
No, just, I know that you've mentioned that you're trimming to line it up.
Yeah.
The only other thing is if we figure it just nothing else works, go really big, go really long, cover it.
True. Yeah, let those hairs right here start growing down. I can tell that you're fading them into the head hair, which makes sense. But like mine would cover it if I had that right now. So that's a great point, something to considerate. That sounds like a good word.
I'll take it.
Considerate. Tony's been using it. Tony's been documenting his actual gains from the accelerator, and Donald showcased his gains on this very show. So again, I'm not promising, not telling you it's guaranteed, but we do have people that are finding spots like this that's actually working. People that spent their hard-earned money, and it's working. So cool. Thank you, Mike, for sending in, man. He said, thanks, guys. No, yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much.
This is Chris S. I'm 2 months in, just about wanted to give everyone an update. I'm using 6 companies for rotation, and it's doing wonders. Any advice?
So like we talked about earlier, he's talking about, so essentially Chris had I believe it was like a job interview or a life situation that came up. He buzzed the beard down, and the job or the situation didn't even work out. His kids cried, I believe, and he hated it. So he's growing back now, and he's saying, hey, I see the value in rotating between these companies. And this is where he's at here. awesome. I think he's just a little bit ahead of you, like a week or two maybe. And
Definitely he down here for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about the timeline. Like I think I actually
yeah.
remember, like not even talking about growth. I remember the situation. It was 1 or 2 weeks. I think he was just because it happened right before you.
Okay.
So Chris, if you're in the chat, give us anything that you want to say. To start off, the only thing that I would say is kind of 2 options on this bit of advice. I would either train or trim the stash. Your stash isn't like robustly full and like thick to the point where it's mine, because that takes months and months and months to do. But you do have these overachievers hanging over the edge right now. I would either just do a nice little scissor line to cut those boys, or if you're like, no, I want the biggest stash possible, get some heat, specifically a heated brush, and start working those hairs to the side. You definitely are at a stage where you can start using heat. Definitely.
I would say trim and train the mustache person. I think you just gotta hit a couple of those guys. They really kind of define your look on that.
Yeah.
And then start training and brushing that mustache.
Yep. But great coverage, dude. The beard looks great. I'm sure it feels fantastic because you're saying all the gains there. So awesome, man. Keep the updates coming. And if you do, make sure the next time you send in an update, let us know, hey, I trimmed and trained the stash or whatever you go with. Very cool. Couple more guys, I believe.
This is Joe P. Heathens. I've had a beard for many years and many different styles. Last year, I decided I was going to go from a short, medium to a long beard. Last December, I started to let my neckline grow in. This past January, I decided to do a modified beard. I work as a veterinary nurse, and I have to keep a semi-polished appearance. I stumbled upon your videos when looking up videos on long beards and mustaches. I also decided to let my mustache grow out. About a month ago, we had some bigwigs come to the office, and I decided to get my beard trimmed for the visit. I wasn't really happy with how low my sideburns had become, and I have decided I'm gonna grow them out and have an even bigger, bushier beard. I have a job interview coming up, and I want to get a haircut and have the barber clean up my beard a bit. Keep it natural. Don't use heat during the work week due to the fact that my stethoscope will indent my beard, and so many dog and cats rub against my facial hair because I live in humid Florida. I found when I don't use heat, my beard bounces back better throughout the day without needing to brush or pick it.
Interesting.
I use unscented oil and butter for work and have a pretty good morning and night routine. Wanted some advice on how to polish up my man mane while still growing it out more. I have 3 photos attached: front, left, left and right. Any advice would be awesome.
Okay. And the photos were cropped, so the one that's going to be on the far right is the right, the one that's on the left is the left. But interesting little tidbit here. He said, I found when I don't use heat, my beard bounces back throughout the day without needing to brush or pick it. Most people would be the opposite. Like if I don't use heat, there's no chance in the world I can get my hand through my beard. The only reason why it would stay together better for me is because it's like Velcro and it's like interlocked, and I hate that feeling. I despise the thought of having my beard interlocked. The time where it happened the most was actually on our vacation in Dominican. The salt water mixed with the humidity, it was like I couldn't touch my beard because it was, oh man, I hated that feeling.
There was like salt water in the air. Like,
yeah,
air.
It was the
like, it was
literally.
I've never been somewhere like that exactly.
Nope, me either. And we just did Nashville where we had like, what was the temp? 111 one day.
Yeah.
Like it was silly. Was not anything compared to that humidity in the Dominican. That was crazy. And real quick here, Nevitz, we absolutely love Aberlite. Their heated brushes are the best we've ever used. The owner is one of the best humans we've interacted with, but we do not recommend their oils or balms whatsoever. And we're very honest with that. If they've ever asked us to do something, we've politely declined. So we do not recommend using those. I am strongly against those products of theirs, but their heated brush is amazing. So just to give you a straight answer. Heathens! Awesome, man. First off, dude, I freaking love your haircut with the beard.
Good. And the earrings and that.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah. Well, you got this short layers with the fade here, and then there's a second layer on this ridge.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And then the hair builds up right there. Dude, that I am digging the heck out of that haircut, man. So cool. Truly love this one. And think about what advice we might give here. But real quick, Ross, look up Dancy Bearded Chlorine. I have a whole video on the process of a pool. It's one of the most important routines that you can do. Chlorine is about as bad as it gets for your beard. And what do you think about mustache wax? Personal preference. I personally hate it because I don't like the feel or look of it. But there's people like Brian Carter in the chat that rock it and it looks awesome. So yeah, it just comes down to personal preference. Okay, so he rocks the beard without heat. He was not happy with the lowered sideburns and how short they were. He wants to keep it natural, but he's got a job interview and a haircut coming. And he wants to tell them to tidy up the beard a bit. What should he go in and say to the barber?
I think basically what I would say is that can you clean up the areas that I really can't see and get to as we're looking in like not the nape, we've talked about the nape, but there may be some spots here. Just where you have the sideburns, putting in those clean edges is what I would recommend without taking any body of the hair off. It's going to be, can you touch up the beard and the sides? I don't want to, like you would clearly say to them, I don't want to lose any length. I don't want to lose any body of the beard, but I want it to look intentional. Something like that.
Yeah, I would even raise it. I would say go in with a pitcher.
Okay.
The problem with like barbers and language and stuff is what is a cleanup? What is the lineup to some? And we've talked about it before. We've seen it time and time and time again where people give these directions and the barber feels like they have to show value. They have to show that it's worth what you're paying for, and it ends up being way more. Because from reading yours, it doesn't sound like you are fully in love with a trim. It sounds like you're wanting to put your best foot forward with the interview,
but not take it.
Yeah,
not lose anything.
I just don't want you to regret it, man. I really, really don't.
A lot of voices in the chat are suggesting like a slight transparent.
For sure. So I do see it at the bottom here, right? This part, and this could be just because you're not using heat or letting your beard settle any way that you want it. But maybe a ½ inch off the bottom and then just kind of going around the outside. But if you were to say to me, hey man, do you think, if your question was different, Joe, if your question said, do you guys recommend a trim? I would say no. I would not do a trim right now. I don't think your beard looks unruly. I don't think your beard looks bad. I think with the contrast to your head hair, it looks fantastic. I think you have some of the coolest style that I've seen. So, man, yeah, maybe just a slight, as Devin's saying here, just a slight rounding of the bottom, and that's going to give you the transparency trim at the same time. So maybe go in and draw a little line right there. The mayor said the sides up here is totally fine, but maybe on this little corner, like the mayor was saying, where you can't see it. But if you're going bigger, that's going to hurt your growth.
True.
So I would say
it's a tough question because it's kind of like, what do I do, but I don't want to do too much.
Exactly.
So we just kind of throw some ideas out and pick and choose what.
My final advice would be no trim right now. I don't think that a slight trim is going to interfere with your interview because look at me. If somebody comes in and they have something against beards, doing this is not going to change their perception.
Yep.
So
might be worth it.
Just keep that in mind as you go there. And this is a great advice. SDZ is always dropping knowledge. Since he goes natural, I think he should just use heat and round brush for the interview. I think that's the best advice I've heard.
Style it.
So if your trim is for the purpose of the interview, that's your goal, is to be presentable, and right, the term presentable, I would just use heat for that. I agree with SDZ. Great advice. Great advice. You got options, man. Great beard and fantastic head hair. That's got me like thinking. I like that head hair.
Something like that.
I could, heck yeah, I'd rock that.
Especially
now I'm not teaching.
Is there anything like that not going back in the classroom that you're like, I gotta do this or I gotta, face tat, something like that?
Yeah, I would love a neck tat, but no. Nothing I can think of right now. Yeah, nothing I can think of. Hey, there we go. Yeah, I've thought about that. Right? No, I'm not going to start swearing on stream. Right? Somebody would be like, "Oh, you didn't swear because you're a teacher." That's true, but
no,
I don't know.
You
I
always
guess
have lived your life pretty honest.
Yeah, it's pretty true. Like
most of those things aren't probably good for like
if you had to hide.
If you were to try to take them on, and there's a reason they're not a good example for kids.
Yeah, Maya, you're gonna want to use mustache wax. That's gonna be the main thing. If you look up Dancy Bearded Handlebar, I have a couple videos on that as well. Hey, your twin's in here. Fitzmagic.
Oh, nice.
Awesome. All right, guys. Hey, we need some of you to send in. We have our show next week. We will be live. I'll be remote, phoning in, but we'll have the presentation. The mayor will be running the rocket ship, and it's been worked out really well. Once we figured out turn off Wi-Fi, it's been smooth sailing. Even if I have to sit out in my truck for 2 hours, I enjoy it. It's peaceful. You guys realize how fast this time goes by on our end? We hope it's the same for you, but on our end, it's just silly. It's so
you go
fast.
into the zone, into the tunnel.
But yeah, the email's scrolling down at the bottom. It's beardadvicelive@gmail.com. You guys saw the layout tonight. Send in like that. We'd love to help you out. If you're shy, please go in there as it goes through. Hey, thank you, Alley Cat. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And a couple quick questions. When I get a trim, I tell the barber I don't want to lose any length because split ends, transparency. That's good. Good advice there, Robert. Dan, do you have any videos chopping it up on what beard comb should be used for what application? I do. Nailbanger, if you look up like different types of beard combs, Dan C, I am like holding like 7 of them in the thumbnail, and I go through the different application of each. Yep, absolutely. All right, Mayor, any other final things for the people? We always like to get off about 10:30. It is 10:30.
Guys, maybe you don't know this. Jump in Sundays Beyond Bearded. This week we're going to be going over like sunglasses styles. Definitely would love for you to do that. That show's growing. So Sunday nights at 9, we do that. We have our Commands Corner Facebook group, all sorts of cool stuff, and Instagram. Dan and I, we work on YouTube. We hang out on Instagram. I'm at Mayor's Beard Journey, Dan C Bearded, and follow us.
Yeah, and I do talk about that in there. Good news for you, I was a high school swimmer, college water polo player, swim water polo coach for 16 years. So if anybody knows about swimming and being around the pool and a beard, it's me. So yeah, absolutely check that video out. Just look up Dan C Bearded Chlorine. I have 2 videos. I recommend the more recent one, but they're both up there for you guys. All right, guys. Hope everybody has a good week ahead. Got a review on Friday. Got a really good video on Sunday, and then we continue to follow this mayor's beard journey.
Again.
So cool. Again, so cool. Improved 2.0, whatever you guys want to call it out there. All right, guys, send us a message anytime, as the mayor said. We appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching today. Stay